Hi everyone, it's Dante here. I'm going to channel the Pleiadian Council. Before I do so, just a reminder that you can get a personal channeling session to dive deeper into yourself and understand what might be going on in there. The Pleiadian Council also do energy scans where they can feed back information to you and do a sort of remote healing and help you work out any blockages you might be experiencing in your body and in your life. And they, of course, answer any other questions that might be relevant for you. I also do a channeling course where I teach people how to channel and to go through intuitive healing processes. It's enrolling again for March, and you can check out my website for information on that. A lot of people have graduated and had incredible experiences and changed their lives. And you can too. And yeah, tune in next month for the live stream session, and you can get the guidebook to Living Love on Earth, and that's also available on the website. And it's a really amazing resource compiled from many hours of channeling sessions, and it outlines so many really fascinating topics that can give you much deeper perspective and help you transform a lot. So I hope you check it out, and thanks for supporting. You are free to donate to me as well to support me and continue to offer these videos for free every week and so on. Alright, let me begin channeling now. Hello, we say fantastic day to each and every one of you tuning into this transmission. Know that we are here with you always in every present moment. The past, the future, parallel realities all align in the eternal now, and your own guides can come to meet you if you so choose to tune into them as you listen to this and other messages from such channeled beings like ourselves. So, we thank you again for tuning in, and let us share our message for this day. We want to elaborate on this concept of emotional release, because there are many of you in your world who do different practices and different tools and go to workshops even to have an experience of emotional release. And this can feel very enjoyable for many of you, and it can help you to get in touch with your own negative belief systems and what is holding you back from expanding and feeling more in alignment with Source. However, there are some things to be aware of here, because this terminology of emotional release isn't fully accurate. It doesn't really set things up for you to actually understand what is happening in these processes. So healing happens when you break a pattern and instead start to operate from another pattern. Yes, you can go into these non-dual states that simply help you transcend and erase and go beyond, though even doing that is still bringing about a new pattern. It's bringing about a new cycle of awareness into your physical being that helps you go into that neutral state. So you have to bring a lot of awareness into this positive and constructive aspect of healing. And yes, bring awareness into the destructive component as well, but it is the destructive and the constructive components together that create the healing and growth. So emotional release isn't all of the healing, and you actually don't even have to release anything. You have to feel the emotion, and when you feel the emotion, you're releasing resistance to the emotion. And this allows you to change the pattern and bring about that new pattern. By focusing on the new pattern and acting from the new pattern, a new perspective, and more positive way of experiencing yourself, seeing yourself, and experiencing the world, you will actually go into the healing state and generate healing and regenerative energy in your life. So this doesn't happen just by releasing. You have to then tune into the usually opposite frequency of the negative emotion you were experiencing. Thus, if you are releasing the emotion of anger, you need to spend as much and ideally even more time in the emotional experience of peacefulness and contentment in order for that pattern to really shift. If the emotion you're releasing is sadness or depression, you have to spend just as much time in the experience of happiness and joy in order for that healing process to take place. And we say just as much time, but ideally it's more time. And ideally you spend that amount of time every single day energizing that new positive emotional state. So, allow yourself to release the idea of releasing, because all you're releasing is your resistance to the emotion. The emotion itself is not released. The energy within it is transformed through your awareness. And this will be even easier to understand when you redefine the emotion in the first place. What is the emotion? It is energy in motion, and it is your own intuitive guidance system letting you know that you are operating under the delusion of a negative, distorted belief that is causing you to interact with yourself and reality in ways that you don't prefer. It's causing you to create a separation from the present moment perception of who you are and your preferred state. These negative beliefs can lead to negative emotions such as anger or frustration. And this anger is really a response to threat. And oftentimes you feel suppressed anger beneath the surface much of the time because you are allowing other people to violate your boundaries. And a boundary is nothing more than a preference. You prefer that people treat you a certain way and respect you and honor your time and energy. That is a boundary. And if you allow others to violate that boundary, you will feel emotions of frustration and anger. And many people have belief systems about their emotions, such as emotions are to be only positive all the time, and if you don't let yourself feel frustration and anger, you will be more spiritual. If you do everything you can to avoid frustration and anger, you will be more spiritual. And what this does is that it pushes that energy and motion into deep recesses of the subconscious and unconscious, where it sort of rots and ferments, and it starts to eat away at your physical body, and it starts to create problems in your life, and it allows you to keep living your life, letting other people trigger you and violate your boundaries while you choose to instead suppress this anger. And so other people will do processes where they punch pillows or go out in the woods and scream and yell, or play out different processes with a coach or therapist to get in touch with that anger and to scream and yell. And this is something that can be positive to do if you have extremely repressed emotions and you can't even feel emotions like anger. The people that have these negative beliefs like anger should do this 1 or 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 times in order to let that energy start to come to the surface and recognize that this anger is not going to harm them or get in their way in any way, and is actually positive energy in motion if you allow it to be expressed as such. And beyond breaking down and releasing your resistance, you shouldn't have to yell and scream more than that. Because oftentimes when you put too much energy into these practices of releasing emotion, you are actually reinstating the cycle of feeling that emotion, being caught in that emotion, and reverting into that state of feeling anger or aggression more of the time. And instead, all you actually need to do is release your resistance to that feeling and allow the presence of that emotion to inform you as to how do you create healthy boundaries, and how do you create a happy, balanced life where you are protected from whatever you perceive as threat? And sometimes, again, because this anger is the perception of threat, you have to deconstruct your belief systems to come to understand there is no actual threat. Some of the time it's true. Some of the time it's true that you have to create protective mechanisms in your life. Some of the time it's what's you're being instructed is that you have to cut ties with certain people in your life. Some of the time what's true is that you have to step up and claim what is yours and how you want to interact with your world. We can't say a universal thing as to what you need to do when you are experiencing this emotion of anger, but it is a fire energy, and fire allows you to purify and burn away that which doesn't serve. So some people may find that they will feel anger a lot, and it is a positive emotion because it allows them to have fire to create and to remove sources of negativity. So you have to, in a sense, be in a healthy means of relating to the negative emotions too, because you will never get to a state in which you are so healed that you'll never feel an emotion that is negative ever again. And some people hypothesize that ascension or enlightenment means that. But even if you were a fully realized being and somebody came up and slapped you across the face for no good reason, you would likely feel anger, or you might feel embarrassed, or you might feel a rush of negative emotions that are there to support you in responding to that situation. And the same would be true about many different situations. And so the idea is that an enlightened being knows how to not resist this emotion, push it away, or react powerfully in a negative way that creates bad circumstances and affects other people in negative ways, but instead recognizes that this energy and motion that is emotion is there to serve them in responding to other people and the situation of their life in that moment in healthy ways, where they can create the boundaries and parameters for engagement that bring them to feel an experience of joy, expansion, peacefulness, or whatever it is that they need and prefer in that particular moment. So we hope this has helped you very much, and will again reinforce that what you need to do is put more energy into syncing up and lining up with the positive states that are the opposite of your negative emotions. You don't need to do any ritual to get very energized in that negative emotion and feel it so powerfully. You need to feel the opposite of that emotion very powerfully and make rituals that are designed to support you in maintaining that more high frequency energy. Some of you are confused about this, and you continue to choose to do things that bring you to feel sorrow or anger or isolation because you think that they are helping you to release them, but actually they are pulling you deeper into those negative frequencies and getting you stuck there. So see through this so you can learn how to raise to the higher frequencies and maintain them. And this will bring greater health, greater relationships, greater prosperity to you in your lives. We thank you very much for allowing this transmission to be shared at this moment of your time, and we extend our unconditional love to you now and at all moments, reminding you that we are ever present and all souls are ever present in the eternal now, and that is what you are. So have a great day then. Bye. Okay, cool. Hope you really liked that one. And check out DanteStarshine.com for taking a deeper look at all those offerings I talked about, and hope to see you then for some sessions of the course and all of the other magic that might ensue. Check out the book as well, and have the best day you could possibly have ever, I guess.